Like this.
I like what you were saying, and as you were saying it, like 'cause the way you said it last week, you went pre-contemplation, contemplation, action, consistent, maintenance, and termination.
But remember, I
And
corrected myself because I said
yeah, you said
consistent
consistent
because
and maintenance go together. Yeah, I got
yeah,
you.
because I was drawing a blank on the word maintenance. But yeah, go ahead.
Right. And so we have preparation. Well, pre-contemplation, contemplation, and preparation. I think that's all like the same thing anyway. I think that's one word.
That's what I'm
It's the
saying.
same. It's the same family.
Exactly.
Um, but what
Which
you
leads to
said was
action. Yeah.
right. But what you said was when you went there just a minute ago, as you were saying it, you said once you think of it, do something. What I would say do is write it down, and be detailed with your writing on what you're going to put in there. I think a lot of it comes to once you start writing it, you give yourself more details, and you can start letting your brain and you kind of putting it what you like to say, your subconscious. As you're writing it, your subconscious is picking it up, and you're seeing it. So you're seeing yourself doing it as you're writing it, and it starts right there. That goes into your pre-contemplation because you're writing it and your mind is seeing it happening before you start taking action to do it. I think writing it down is also, start there, write it down and put it somewhere where it's visible to you. You know what I'm saying? That's the most important. So don't write it. If it's something small that you can gather, right? Then you put it in your wallet, put one on your dashboard, leave it on a little sticky notes, put one on your mirror. That's uh, affirmations in a way, manifestation, and it's a good way to keep on. You know what I'm saying? Training yourself to do it. I like what you said there. I think I was agreeing with you.
You're absolutely right. And you just reminded me what I tell people to do, because some people have like vision boards and all that.
Mm-hmm.
What I tell people to do is put it on a home screen of a cell phone. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I tell a lot of my members, I'm like, because people have a phone in their hand all the time. So I usually put my 30-day goals that I'm working on, I put them in my phone.
Mm-hmm.
But I tell my members, like make it your home screen. And, every time you go to unlock your phone or whatever, that goal is there. And then it's great to be in the practice of wherever it is, wherever you put it, it's great to be in the practice of looking at your goal at least 10 times a day, like throughout the day, making it a habit to look at your good habit. Like you said, write it down. So I'm glad you said that, because one of the tips that I give people is look at it throughout the day, periodically, especially if there's a time where there's some stress in the day. And this is going to lead us into our next thing. Or if you're having a bad moment or something that's going on in the day met with bad energy, always go back to your positive goal and look at that to remind you of what you're working towards, and don't let your energy get changed by bad energy. Basically find peace in working towards your goal. And as long as you keep that in front of you, literally in front of you, even when met with something negative, you can go to your place of peace, which is your goal. And I've done this before. Like if I was upset about something, I go to my goal and I go to it with a mind of happiness and joy, and I find peace in my goal. And when you have a goal, it starts off like it's even a hashtag on social media. And I talk about this in my book. Goals usually start off in a positive light. When people say like hashtag goals, or, what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying, body goals or relationship goals, it's always positive light. But what happens with individuals sometimes is their goal becomes negative and it becomes a chore. So
Right.
when you write it down, you want to write it down with the mindset that it's a positive thing and it's your go-to for positivity, even when other things are negative around you. Don't ever let your goal become a negative thing in your life, because then that's counterproductive. Your goal should never be something that is negative. You know what I mean? And while you give your response here, I'm gonna look for one of my quotes that I have
No,
that's
you
talking
good.
about
Let
that's
me
talking
tell
about
you.
goals.
So I'm glad you said that because let me tell you what you did today. You did two things, and you just did it both. You did them both without knowing you just did them. When we were talking earlier, when you sent me the text and you was like, "Man, let's talk about how people deal with a tough day." Fool, I was finna text you and be like, Man, we should see how you deal with a tough day, with a bad day. But you had sent it right before me, and now I
Oh, you
sent
gonna
the
send me
text. You
send
be
me
like, yeah,
that?
yeah.
Tell you I'm
then,
psychic.
then, nah, that's because our minds think the same. And
Yeah.
then when you were just telling me what you were just telling me just right now about the phone screen, and you were saying keep your goals on there, what I keep on mine was taking me right to where we were finna go. But then you said, and this is going to lead us into the next thing. And I'm sitting over here like this, nigga, right?
Mine's working alike. They call that ESP.
but this is the thing. I agree with what you said on writing, because I said the thing, get your goals, write them down where you can see them. For me, on my lock screen, I like to use, I use, I use things that, like my lock screen to say, fuck what people think.
Yeah,
That'd be my lock screen. That'd be my
yeah,
lock screen for the day. Fuck what they think
yeah,
about you. I use
yeah.
things like that because, or
You know
I
that
or,
sound. I like that.
and I got another one that says, he who angers you, he who angers you control you, and the best revenge is living a successful life. You know what I'm saying? I use things like that, and I let them pop up on my phone as reminders. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Because at different points through the day, I may feel upset or cool through the day at one point, and then what happens is I may, whatever the thing is, but then that reminder comes in.
yeah,
Bing, man, fuck what people think.
yeah,
Bing, hey man, he who angers you controls you, and the best revenge is living a
yeah,
good life. You know what I'm saying? Bing,
yeah.
do 50 push-ups today. Bing, little things like that, and they keep on popping up on my phone. Now, I ain't saying all the time. I just a lot of times, man, they come up on my phone so much I just swipe them, get off the phone, but they keep on coming because I know it's something that I need to do. And again, it's programmed into my mind to do it. I may not do it right there, but I know that it's going to keep on coming to me until I have to address it. And so that's my thing. But with phones, man, keep them on. Put I like your goals, but on your phone, on your lock screen, give yourself that motivating quote. That's going to motivate,
That's it.
not the goals, because here's the thing: we all know what we got. We all know if we got a goal. I want to do X, Y, Z. You don't have to write that down. You write it down because you want to give yourself a plan. But you know what you're trying to do already because you're gonna tell everybody that's gonna listen what you're trying to do, man. I'm gonna do this because this is how you start speaking it into existence. So when you got that phone and you put something on your phone, man, give yourself the encouragement. Man, fuck what they think, man. Heavy is the head that wear the crown. And God gave it to me. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you just gotta give yourself that fire quote real quick, man. Take this fire because that fire is going to inspire.
Yeah. What I'm saying too is right along with you is that I want people to get into practice of that fire that inspires them being the
Mm-hmm.
goal, being the goal. So I think
Right,
they're one and the same. I think that
right,
a quote that's attached to your goal and the goal that's attached to the quote is one and the same. So
yeah, yeah,
you can have those things wherever they are, but the overall point is that your goal is the ultimate goal, and
right,
that because it should always inspire you. You should always have that fire, whether it's a quote attached to it or whether it's the goal itself that you look at that
right.
inspires you. Train your mind, train the brain,
And the
train your
bottle will
brain,
follow, right?
yeah, so that it works in that manner.